My name is Dr. Teresa Larson, and I am the founder of Movement RX, and I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I assist leaders and business owners grappling with client loss, employee retention challenges, and business scalability issues that stem from the leaders' own mental and physical well-being blind spots. I do this through teaching business owners and leaders how to create a competitive advantage by dialing in their own well-being across 5 key health categories that impact how they show up for themselves, their people, and their families. The personal results are leaders that are able to thrive in their roles at home and at work. The business results are a stronger and more vibrant company culture, a business without hidden friction slowing it down, and most importantly, happier, empowered, and more engaged human beings. For the past 10 years, my team and I have worked with hundreds of business owners and leaders who in their first year of working with us have achieved breakthroughs like increasing revenue by 20% or solving the great resignation within their organization. However, most importantly, we have helped thousands of human beings, from leaders to their people, feel better and more empowered on a daily basis to handle all the challenges that come with growth and living a full life.
Hey, I want to take a second to just give a massive shout out to Teresa Larson. I had the rare opportunity to actually spend some time with Teresa at one of her events that she was putting on. And I got to tell you, it really opened my mind to more things than I was really thinking about as a CEO. And we all need somebody like Teresa to just kind of kick us back on the tracks and really keep us going every single day.
I am excited to connect with you about your event and would love to talk to you about how we can partner together to make your event a wow moment and experience for everyone who attends. If you are interested in learning more about our leader-focused competitive advantage trainings for your business, connect with me by signing up for your competitive advantage training call using the link provided. Remember, your well-being matters.
Welcome to Homefront Sit Rep. I hope you're in for a great show today, because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find Homefront Sit Rep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Homefront Sit Rep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting. Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of Homefront Sit Rep. How is everybody doing? Candace, how are you?
Great.
You're doing good?
Yeah.
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 How was your weekend?
Eventful.
Eventful? Yes, it was.
You know some of it. How was yours?
Mine was eventful as well. So, but it's Monday, and like every typical Monday, it's raining, cold, and you wait 5 minutes, and the weather here in Kentucky will change. So,
I'm so done with this rain.
I know.
Normally, I'm okay with it, but like days and days and days of it.
I would rather it be snowing than raining.
Yes, give me a reason for it to be cold and wet.
Yeah. So no, but it's been the last. Yes, Lorelai, it's been very eventful, my dear. Shh, don't tell her. But anyway,
Hi,
no,
Doc.
it's it's been bittersweet, kind of, sort of, because you put in your notice at Mission Barbecue. You're no longer going to be at Mission Barbecue.
It's extremely bittersweet.
Yeah, because what you do there as being the community ambassador, and you connect with the law enforcement and military personnel and first responders in general, and then now you're getting ready to move to a new chapter of your life.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see the growth in you over the last 6, 7, 8 months from where you were back then to where you are now. Yeah. And you're finally making decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
Good decisions.
Yeah. Oh, Doc. Today was like, even today. So I posted, of course, like the days that I'm going to be in the store.
Mm-hmm.
And so today was, bittersweet is going to be the word of the week. It really is, because I had friends coming in going, what's going on? And just hanging out. I could barely get my job done today because, I'm sitting with everybody in the dining room, and I have a lot of people that are coming in this week, and a lot of places I'm going because they want to see me before I'm gone. But like I told them, I'm not disappearing. You have my phone number. I just won't be right here.
I talked to your dear friend Cassie today. She introduced me to a Marine, or not a Marine, but a veteran. He's went down a rabbit hole, but now he's slowly picking himself back up. I think he got dog either 12 or 13 from when Dogs Up and Heroes first started. He lost his dog a couple years ago. His wife left him. He went down a rabbit hole, and he's got a story. I mean, a very exciting story, or I can't say exciting story, but for me, eventful story. Yes, there we go. For me to hear his story and him to come on here and tell his story, I know that that's going to help him. Yeah, because we talked about it last night with Al. Yeah, that the more you tell your story, the easier it gets.
Even if it's not on a platform like this, even if it's just having a phone call with a brother and releasing some of that energy and releasing some of that stress. It's just, okay, I talked about it. Yeah. It's better. Yeah.
So we have an exciting Monday edition.
Don't give my stuff away.
So we have an exciting edition of Homefront Sit Rep tonight, because the lady that I'm going to bring onto the stage here in just a minute, I've known for 5, 6, 7 years. And what she's doing for female veterans in the state of Kentucky is nothing short of amazing. And then I'm going to bring one of her team members on as well, which I'm going to meet her for the first time, as you guys are going to be meeting this team member. So with that being said, let's bring Miss Phyllis Abbott on first. Miss Phyllis, how are you, my dear?
Great. Good to be here.
Well, how was your weekend? Let's put it that way.
We were not going to go there.
Okay. Oh, we're not going to go there. Okay.
We were really nice about ours.
we had a woman in crisis that we worked with all weekend.
Oh man.
But you know what? There's a sunshine to that, because she had you guys.
Yes.
That is true. That is very, very true. So, Miss Phyllis, I'm going to bring Miss Addie on as well, because I don't want her to feel like she's being left out. So I'm going to bring Miss Addie on. Miss Addie, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I'm going to ask both of you, how was your Monday? Was it better than the weekend?
I had a good weekend and a good Monday.
Awesome. So, Miss Phyllis, let's start with why you, like your background, and then how you got to where you are now with Lady Vets Connect.
Several years ago, back in 2012, a friend of mine and decided we wanted to do something with veterans, and I formed Sheppards Hands. Um, when we were, then we tried to figure out what do we want to do with the veterans. We knew we wanted to serve the veterans, but wasn't sure how. Spent a couple years talking to organizations, talking to the VA, talking to some military people, because I live close. My home was close to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and got a lot of doors closed. And finally, I had a lady, but my research is showing women veterans are the fastest growing segment of the homeless population, but they're also the hardest to identify because they often don't self-identify. But the more I read, and then I talked to several people and finally found out, yes, this is important. And actually, when I came to Lexington with the idea in 2015, Heather French Henry was the KDVA commissioner, and she actually had that designated that year as the Women Veterans Year. And so she and I talked, and then their mission was there. It was definitely women veterans.
Nice. What the heck?
He's still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. It keeps messing up on me. So yeah, Miss Heather French Henry. I love Miss Heather. She is amazing. I've known her for quite some time as well, and her reign as commissioner for KDVA, I don't think was long enough because her ideals are they're fantastic. Her ideals are, and what she does with the I want to say it's the traveling museum that she has with all the military stuff that she takes to like the fairgrounds and stuff like that. And of course, her dad's a Marine, so I have to like her because her dad's a Marine. So, but no, and then I've dealt with her with like Operation Victory, which is here in Louisville with all the organizations that are involved with that, and they find a dilapidated home and rebuild it and give it to a homeless veteran. So what she does for female veterans is awesome as well, and not just female veterans, but veterans as well. So now tell us a little bit about what Lady Vets Connect does for veterans at your center up there.
We bought it the old Trap School back in 2016, completely renovated it where we can have at capacity up to 32 women veterans living in a transitional housing program. We've never had it at capacity yet, but we're still trying to get the word out. And this is a great venue I hope to do this with. Hey, we've got a safe place for you to come. You don't have to go to a shelter. You don't have to sleep in a car. You don't have to sleep in an old shed or be couch surfing in somebody's bed you shouldn't be in. You can have your own bedroom. You can have support team behind you and help you to get your life back and be the proud veteran person you were when you were serving active in that military.
No, I love it. So any female veteran, they could be now let's say you're in Winchester where the facility is located. Mm-hmm. Let's say they lived in Southern Ohio, right in the Cincinnati area, or, if they travel from West Virginia or wherever, do they have to be a resident of Kentucky to come to your center?
No, they do not. Kentucky veterans will always have a first preference. But we've had a lady there from Georgia, from Arkansas. We've got one now from Tennessee. So we've had them from different states.
Awesome. Oh. No, I love that. I mean, because if a female veteran, say they're living in Georgia and they're in a abusive relationship and they need to get out, so you have a safe place for them to come here, and you'd be there for a year to 18 months to whatever they need to get back on their feet. That's awesome. Now I'm looking here. So you got community partners. Well, it went by too fast, but you got Team Rubicon on there and a bunch of other community partners out there. How many partners do you have, and then what kind of events do you guys put on for these female veterans in your care?
We have riding retreats. We have conferences, lunch and learns. Last year we did our first event at the Capitol, Women Veterans Recognition Day, in the honor of the 75th anniversary, or when women could officially be called veterans. And we plan to do it again this year. We need to find a new location if anyone has suggestions, because the Capitol will be closed for remodeling. We'd like to have it centrally located where it's easy access for Lexington, Louisville, or in the surrounding areas.
Awesome.
And then we do we've had 3 galas for women veterans in Lexington to just honor them, recognize them, have a nice dinner, and share some of their stories.
You know, my mind is already racing. I'm like, hold on. I know people.
She does.
Even there.
Okay. And then Addie has a retreat plan this summer. I'll let her tell you about it.
Well, let's hear from Miss Addie. Let's put her on the main screen.
She's in the spotlight.
I'm ready.
So tell us about your retreat.
Well, let me.
Well, I was going to say,
introduce
hold on.
myself.
Tell us about you first.
So I met Phyllis when I worked at Toyota. I retired from Toyota after 32 years in 2020, but I was chosen in my last 2 years to be the chair for Toyota Veterans Association, which is a big deal because Toyota employs about 10,000 people at the Georgetown plant. And women, just like the military, are a small percentage, like 10% or 7 to 10%. So out of 10,000 people, and for me to be picked as chair, I was very honored. But that's how I met Phyllis, and that's how I started to meet a lot of the other organizations that support veterans. But what we did internally was to support our own veterans that work for Toyota. But that's how I met Phyllis. So when I retired, I became more of a volunteer. And then the more I loved her organization and what she was doing, she I became a board member. So now I help with a lot of different activities. And so I'm proud to say I belong to Lady Veterans Connect. Um, I did have a 1-year employment with KDVA, Kentucky Department of Veteran Affairs. I love that job, love it. But I was hired under Commissioner Jackson.
Okay.
He had found out on LinkedIn that I was retired and asked if I wanted to come in and do this program. And I didn't want to go full time, so I went part time, which was still Monday through Thursday. And I loved it. That's where I met I learned a lot. For one, the first 4 months, 6 months, I was learning what VSOs and local organizations, 501Cs. So from local, state, and federal, I learned so much who did what. So it's all more about learning and just deep diving how we all connect and serve Kentucky women veterans and teach them on the benefits and services that all 3 of those have, because they're all different, but they're all awesome. So local, state, and federal. So I joined the VA Hispanic Association. I am a partner with the National Association Women Veteran Coordinators. So there is a women veterans coordinator in almost every state. So they allowed me to still be a member, even though I am not currently the coordinator for the state. But they love what Phyllis and Lady Veterans Connect does. So we're a big part of that support system. So we are now, we're part of the gang on a national level.
Awesome.
My very first week with KDVA was meeting Liz Helms Frazier and learning about the 6888. And I'm telling you, if you've not learned or heard about the 6888, your mind's going to be blown. Have y'all heard about it?
No, I haven't.
Oh my
So
God.
blow my mind.
Have you heard of Tyler Perry?
You talking about the comedian Tyler Perry?
The actor, the director, the very famous person.
Yeah, the one that plays Medea. Yes.
He's way on one end, but the starting end is the women in World War II who went to Europe. They were a postal battalion, all female, all black, and they did an outstanding job in Europe serving our military, making sure their mail got to them. They were so backlogged. They had hangers and hangers of duffel bags and bags and bags and bags. They were so backlogged. So no mail, low morale was their motto. And they
Yeah.
got it done in speed time. I was just, that's what I mean. If you hear the story, your mind's going to be blown. So she was involved greatly. So she's from DC. So she's one of our contacts from DC. And so she's been keeping us in the loop. She's come to some of our events. So she's a very wonderful person, very passionate. So we're glad she's in our circle, and we can't wait to see and debut the movie.
Well, heck yeah, that's awesome.
So Tyler Perry made a movie about that unit.
Heck,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
So
So
that
they
was my
were.
very first week. Yep, that was my very first week. So as you could see, the rub is meeting all the women who have
Hmm.
these awesome stories. And yeah, and those women back in those days came home, never recognized their service, never told family, never brought that uniform back out. But could you imagine their story and each one of them, what they probably could tell you of
Oh
what they
yeah.
did over there? But that's everybody's story who served, right?
Yes,
Men,
ma'am.
women alike. So we all
Well, like,
have that story, a
yeah,
story.
it's like you said back in that time. One, being a woman. Two, being a woman of color.
Yeah.
Like during
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment. That's
It's huge.
awesome for it to be honored.
Oh, they had such a group to support them. Was it the Congressional Medal of Honor they all received, Phyllis?
Hmm.
Congressional, yeah. So she worked on it so that they all got. Now they're all in their hundreds, 90s and hundreds. So
Oh,
many,
that's
many of them
beautiful though.
have passed away. I think there's a couple left, but it's an amazing, beautiful story.
So they were basically like the Pony Express, but during a wartime situation.
Right.
Correct. Correct.
That's amazing. Now,
Yeah.
so now I'm gonna have to research that
Yeah.
because I'm a history nerd and I like
Six
hearing
triple eight. So
Well,
six
that's
the movie
triple
will
eight.
be shown at the Kentucky Historical Society this summer.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So we'll keep
You'll
you
you'll
on
have
the
to.
invite list.
Yeah, definitely, because I would love to bring my two young daughters and my wife
Mhm.
there because both my daughters are planning on going in the military. One wants to be an FBI agent. That's what
Oh,
her career path that she's chosen. The youngest, she's going to be. She wants to go in as a medic, and then she wants to go into teaching. So, for me, and this month, I'll just go ahead and preference this. This month has been a lot of female veteran love from Homefront Sit Rep.
Lady love.
I had some listeners say, "Hey, you need more female veterans on your podcast to tell their story and the organizations that they represent." So, like I had She Serves She Rose, which you know who that is. And then she's the veteran. Then I had Tab Bartley on last night. I had Dr. Teresa Larson on, who's both of those were Marine female veterans. So this whole month has been geared towards female veterans, and this is going to be the last one for the month. And I'm excited because it's Lady Vets Connect, because you are in Kentucky, and I've known Phyllis for a really long time, and I know what she does for female veterans in the state of Kentucky and surrounding area. So I'm super excited that you guys are my last one for the month of January. And then we'll move into new episodes next month. But to end this month of Lady Love with Lady Vets Connect is amazing. So I'm going to have to research that group there
yeah.
and see what that is about. And
So just Google
Yeah.
either 688 or 6888. Postal
Mhm.
Battalion. Postal Battalion. So
Huh.
you'll
Learn
find
more
a lot
about
of good stuff. So I don't know if I mentioned I was in the military, Army,
Oh.
24 years. I served 3 years active duty in Germany and 21 years here in the States.
You did not mention that.
No,
Thank
you
you
did
for
not.
your service.
I did make it. I was a legal specialist and I was an instructor, 42 Alpha, 27 Delta. So I did a few things while I was there. Total Army school system, inspector at the 100 Division in Louisville. So been to South Korea, been to Germany, Honduras. So I've been to a few places, had some good experiences. But when I retired in 2007, I retired. I had a baby and I was working, and I just let go of the whole military thing for quite a while until, every now and then a little something would come up, especially at work, because that's where I lived for all those years.
Right.
Um, but when I started getting involved in these business partnering groups, like women groups at Toyota for leadership and development, and then Toyota Veterans Association, I started to spread my wings quite a bit. And being chair was a big part of that, and going to headquarters in Plano and meeting all the other veteran related type business partnering groups, all through Toyota, Indiana, Texas, West Virginia, Canada, you name it. So there's several out there, but there's also all these other companies that have these type of groups. So it's how to
Hmm.
connect with them. But my career that got me towards Phyllis it's just starting. So this only happened. So I was chair from 2018 to 2020, and then I had met Phyllis, and so roughly after 2020 I kind of started doing a little bit more. So for me, and I think of this as our organization as well, I feel like we're still in the baby steps. We're still in our infancy. We're just growing now. What she has done, and all the volunteers to help her do so far, to open up this school and have it converted to livable, and to
Hmm.
eat there and have events there, and all the volunteers and sponsors. I mean, she's done a great job. So I have a
You
lot of
know her
respect
heart's
for
in it.
Phyllis. Yes, yes, her
Mhm.
heart is definitely in it.
That's one thing that nobody will ever say bad about Phyllis when it comes to what she does, because she's done this pretty much, on her own for many years. And for if somebody ever said that she's doing it for the wrong reason, I would straight up call them a bullshit liar, because I know her personally, and I know that she's doing it because her heart is like this big.
Yeah.
Um, and she's doing it because it needs to be done.
Yes.
And she was on the forefront. When a lot of female veterans weren't recognized, or not, or they didn't come out and say, "Hey, I'm a female veteran," and
Hmm.
that's just, for her to do that then and see the need and still continue her mission like she has.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, that's amazing. And
And
Phyllis,
yes.
we applaud you for that.
Mhm.
Yes. And it's still
So,
growing. It's still growing quite a bit. So, having the job at KDVA, I did I guess, a project called I'm Not Invisible, that I had learned from one of my NASWVC, the national state. Uh, they did this I'm Not Invisible. So I found a bunch of ladies to take these photos. So if you have never heard of that campaign, you look that up. It's pretty cool. If you ever go into VA women and they go into the women's center, they'll see all those I'm Not Invisible photos hanging up through the hallways.
Mm.
So I did this for KDVA. So I have that project displayed every now and then in different locations. We just got done with the transportation office, so now I'm looking for another home to put it at. And I did it, I had it at our gala, because there's about 18 women and they're huge photos. And all these women, and it was about trying to connect and find these women veterans. So and then we became friends with the person who created that, Liz Esterbrooks. I give her many, many kudos. She was out of DC at the time. Now she's a contractor, traveling all over the place. But she taught us quite a bit, and she taught me quite a bit just through that campaign. And then I also was asked to work on a project at the Kentucky Historical Society, again promoting women veterans. And currently, if you go there, you'll see their project, Our Stories, Our Service. And there's a lot of women. They have a whole section of from beginning of when women started in the military all the way to current, to the big project of having an all-female flight 2 years ago with gosh, I can't think of the name. Help
Honor
me
flight.
out.
hmm,
Yes,
Honor
Honor
flight.
Flight.
honor
Honor
flight.
Flight. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Honor Flight. They worked with the Kentucky Historical Society as well, and that's how it all came about. So between those organizations and everybody supporting those women, they had that flight, and it has taken off from there. So
That's awesome.
the project opened there at the Historical Society, and then all these women found that they have and want a need to connect. They want to connect, whether it's just having coffee, go to a show, go camping, go hiking, go fishing, go whatever, just they want to connect with each other. And so they're doing that in little pop-ups all over the states. And so we're a big part of that. And we love being a part of that. So
That's
But you're also getting this personal experience for you as well.
oh yeah. So once I met Nicole Horseman. She's a VFW.
Yes, I
Right.
know her very,
She's,
very well.
yep, she's a badass. Well, she had this t-shirt. She had a t-shirt at one of my conferences that I did when I was working for KDVA, and it said #still serving.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of us. That's you all. That's
Yes, ma'am.
me. That's all of us still serving. And really, a lot of veterans who do volunteer to do this work, and we take pride that it is there. It's nonprofit, meaning nobody gets money, nobody gets a
Yeah.
dime, but we get so much more out of it, and that is the satisfaction of helping each other,
Yes, ma'am.
helping each other, even if it's just a conversation. I can talk to you on all the contacts I've met. I can promote these events that Lady Veterans Connect is having so that we can connect. If you are in trouble or a person in need, we have so many people that we have connections with that we can guide you in the right direction if we can't help you. And we all follow up with each other. If I started it, I finish it. Or if,
Yep.
if it's the
I agree.
batons hand on to Phyllis or Monica or somebody else, we follow up to make sure, and we call that veteran. Did you get the help? Do you still need help? And so uh, there is a need for that as well.
hmm So a good comment right here. It's take one pack off and put another on.
True.
That is spot on. It's basically take this hat off and put another hat on. And you are right. A lot of veterans, when we sign up to join and serve our country, that right there is when the servant heart begins.
Mhm.
And then when we get out, a lot of veterans, whether they be male or female, they lose that purpose once they get out.
Mhm.
And for me, when I do my veteran charity work or do this podcast, that's me still serving. And I'm
Mhm.
going to continue to serve until I can't serve no more.
Mhm.
And I'm thankful for my beautiful wife who's
Mhm.
on here.
Thanks,
She's
Julie.
she's my rock. She keeps me grounded. And so my wife is, so this is her
Just give
here.
us a website.
She's definitely putting comments in here. She's definitely my rock, and she keeps me grounded. Now I do have my
There you go,
demons. I do have my demons that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. But for me, when I'm serving and helping veterans, it helps ease those. They never go away because they're still there, but it does help ease those. So, and then, to see people like Miss Phyllis, who's not a veteran, but she's out here serving our brothers and sisters with her mission. It's all inspiring. I mean, they should write a book about Miss Phyllis, honestly.
Oh,
I don't think
definitely.
so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. We need
said
to get
no.
started on that because it would take forever. It'd be a book that fat.
It
Okay,
would.
novels are good.
No, I love it.
I wanted to ask a question. You were talking about those, the photos of the women. Now, you said that was through KDVA?
The photos, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
I have to throw it out there. I know Phyllis has walked into a Mission barbecue. Have you walked into a Mission barbecue?
I don't think so.
Ah.
We
I
need
have, like, in my mind, I already have a spot on the wall that I would love to put some of those photos up. Now, my last day is this Friday, but
It don't
Like,
mean we still
I
can't
could-
put photos up
I
there.
could still make that happen. We can't do huge photos, but like if we could take those and get like a big
Smaller
array
scale.
of like
Yeah.
5x7s or something like that, I'll
Right.
cover a wall in them, and I'll have Jen do it. Like she'll be watching later. I'll
Yeah.
tell her, be like, Jen, you got to get these up.
There you go.
Okay, so I don't know who Godfather's Adventure is. He said Danny sent them. I need your name. Like I gotta know who you are.
Another photo project that we want to do this year, if we can find a venue, is there is a lady who has done the Athenia project where she photographs women veterans who have had breast cancer, and they're
Okay.
nude from the waist up, very artistically done.
Yeah.
We want to bring it to Kentucky, and she needs 800 square feet to do it. And if you have a woman veteran that would like to be photographed while she's here, she'd be willing to do that as part of the exhibit. I think it's, as we know, women especially have served around Camp Lejeune and some of those areas have a higher risk of having breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's really important that we showcase that, and that you can have that, but you can bounce back. You can be proud of who you are. And as I said, it's very artistically done. She's been on CBS. She has been exhibited at the War Memorial. So if you have an idea for a venue, once she comes, she wants it to be here for a month.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Rick. But her talking about a month, I'll tell you who I need to get her in contact with is Kevin Combs.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's working on that museum, and he goes and sets things up all the time.
Yeah.
Because he has pieces from World War One and farther back.
So Rick says the art center on Melwood. I don't know if that's something that you've looked into. That's in Louisville here. And then Candace is talking, so I can give you Phyllis's contact information.
Yeah, Phyllis, I'm gonna get myself hooked up with you because I've heard too much about you to not have talked to you before, and I think that's just silliness. And Addie, same thing.
Yeah.
Because you guys aren't, well, right now they're not too far away, and
No,
there's nothing wrong with having that network, anyways.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
But yeah, I'd love to do something with the photos and Mission. I'll get that going. We'll get some more contacts in for getting some other things done. We totally went off track here, though.
We have.
So, Miss Addie, tell us about this retreat.
Oh, yeah. So, again, this goes back to
Phyllis.
knowing the ladies from the surrounding states who are the women veteran program coordinators for the other states. So I had went to one in Indiana at Clifton Falls. I thought, well, we got to do one for Lady Veterans Connect. So I mentioned it to Phyllis to put it on the planning agenda for this year. I think the board agreed. And so right now we're looking at a state park and getting all the quotes and the prices. So then it'll be fundraising and how do we pay for it. So it's all, I'm saying about 25% complete. I got the quote, I got the location. We put a date on it, which will be September, but I'm not going to give exact date yet because we're still in the early stage.
Stages. Okay.
Yep, we're in the planning stage, so I'm not ready to put a save the date yet, but it is September.
Okay.
Are you laughing at me? What's
No, I'm not. I swear, I'm not.
So there's a comment that just came in.
Oh.
This is my brother Danny Robinson. He's lives up in Massachusetts, and he said garlic kills everything. That's what she's laughing at.
Okay.
Because he knows
It's an inside thing.
Gotcha.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I apologize.
No problem.
it's
No.
just the way he says it. It just makes her laugh the whole time. So
He's like
he's a child.
thick Northeastern. I'm pushing stuff. So when you say you're not going to give away the date, but you said you have a location, is that going to be in Kentucky or in Indiana?
Oh no, it's Kentucky.
Okay. Well,
I
I know
went-
that you said this had started like by going to something in Indiana. So
I'll call that a recon mission because
Gotcha.
I had to go
Gotcha.
see what one's done like, and she did a great job. So I want to do one for us, and I want to have it here in Kentucky. I do
Awesome.
believe Veterans Club had one last year, but I believe it was in Tennessee.
Okay.
So I want to have one here, right dab in the middle.
good.
So there is Camp Brown Bear. I don't know if you've heard of Camp Brown Bear. That's Stephen Brown.
I work closely with Steve.
Oh, I love
The
Stephen.
even or the active heroes.
And then Active Heroes, they have a new person in charge, Courtney Burden, female veteran.
That's a beautiful property.
And their property out here in Sheppardsville is and they got 2 cabins there on site. Then you can bring in campers. There's RV hookups as well, so that can be a good place to do it.
They got the amphitheater, they got the hall, there's all kinds. It's beautiful.
So I don't know if you know much about Active Heroes, but I would definitely look into them as well because they have a great facility that you guys can, or you ladies, let me rephrase that, you ladies can have a retreat at. So
I love you, Julie. Look, she's keeping everybody on their toes.
We
And
met
so-
we met with her, Phyllis and I and Monica. We met with them about a month ago.
Which one?
Yeah. Active Heroes.
Okay.
Courtney.
Yeah.
Courtney and Steve was there, and
Yeah.
somebody else. I can't remember the third person, but we got the whole tour and drove around, and it's a great facility. For this first retreat, I have to stay with the state park because there'll be 50 women that we're
Okay.
shooting for, and Active
Mm.
Heroes has the 2 cabins. I think it'll be a little
Correct.
tight for 50 women. And then Camp Brown Bear, I'm not sure on how many he can hold, but it's definitely something I'll ask for
I
sure.
think
They
so.
can
That
have
was
about 15, 16, no more than 20.
Look, we're just gonna have to like have a conversation after this so that we can be like, okay, here's this contact for this and that contact for that. Like, it's
well. I'm sure Miss Phyllis has a lot of the same ones that I have because we've ran around the same
Yeah.
circle for quite some time.
oh yeah.
But I do have like, she's a veteran. I'd like to get Miss Phyllis and you connected with them. You've already got connected with She Serves Heroes, which is
That's another comment.
a female. They do podcasts for females, and then they have their private page on Facebook, which you're in, and they do all kinds of things for female veterans. Now they focus mainly on female veterans of color, but they don't discriminate. So any female veteran, they'll
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. The one that we talked to a week ago.
yes, She Serves Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
That was awesome.
and then I would love to get you in contact with Dr. Teresa Larson as well. She's a Marine Corps veteran. She travels the country. She's a keynote speaker. So like at your retreat, you could have her come in and talk to the female veterans and stuff like that. So matter of fact, the commercial at the beginning when we first started, that's Dr. Teresa Larson. She's what's the word you said she was?
MRX, that one.
Movement RX. Yes.
What? Badass?
Yeah, she's a badass.
She is a badass. Dude, like through and through.
So my wife's all right. So this is a question for you at Addie. You should ask for Christy Enos, amazing lady. I don't know who Christy Enos
All
is.
right, Godfather. And like teach us, learn us.
And then my wife says, y'all are killing this. How awesome for y'all. and she's meaning that for you too.
Oh.
So is your
Miss
wife a
Phyllis-
veteran also?
No, my wife is not a veteran. And funny story about that, she almost was not my wife. And the reason I'm gonna say that is because when I got out of the Marine Corps, my plan was to do 20 in the military. So I was going to go into the Army after the Marine Corps. So we were dating, and I had talked to an Army recruiter and was getting everything set up, ready to go. And my wife says, well, if you go in the Army, I'm breaking up with you. So we luckily, the cards were in her favor. I didn't get to go in the Army, and we've been together ever since. So
You wouldn't know what to do otherwise.
no, I wouldn't. Like I said, she's my rock. I would be lost without my wife, and I tell the story since we've been on Lady Love this whole month. I grew up in a household of my mom, 2 sisters. My brother passed away in '94. So when I was growing up, it was just my mom and my 2 sisters. And now I live in a house with my wife and my 2 daughters.
And
So-
surrounded by the rest of us.
And then I'm surrounded by females all the other time. So when it comes to female veterans, and we talked about it with Tab Bartley and Dr. Teresa Larson, that a lot of female veterans don't want to identify themselves as veterans.
True.
And the stigma by that or behind that is because at the VA and back in the day when the military was the good old boy club, female veterans were looked, I don't want to say second rate, but they were not looked upon as male veterans. So I'm thankful that the country is evolving where the female veteran is a warrior just like a male veteran. And that's amazing. So
he was telling us who this
So
lady is.
Christy Enos She is attempting to climb Mount Everest. She is an amputee. She has also summited the highest peaks, and Everest is her last peak, and many other accomplishments.
And she's a Marine.
And she's also a Marine.
And a Marine amputee who's climbing mountain peaks.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's like Matthew Bradford.
Yeah. Yeah. So Julie says being a lady vet is no joke, and they need every bit of valor and respect we can give them. I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, to your point, what you were going to say about self-identifying, that's why we're really trying hard for our verbiage to be, have you served? Were you in the military? Versus are you a veteran? Because a lot of people think a veteran is someone someone who's, been hurt in the war, or who does belong to the VA, where a lot of people are not allowed to join the VA. And, they think of this retirement goal of 20 years. I don't care if you served a week and went through boot camp, you signed up, you pledged your allegiance, and maybe you broke your leg in the first week and you had to get out. Your heart was there. You were in there, so something as small as that to, maybe somebody going to war, and no matter what the time limit, if you served, no matter what the time, you're a veteran in our eyes.
Yeah, I feel like almost every woman that you've talked to on these podcasts, the veterans, it's somewhere in their story. They start it with, I didn't think I was a veteran.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't know why that is, that a lot of female veterans don't think that they're veterans, because as long as you sign your name on the dotted line, and it could be National Guard, it could be Air Guard, it could be whatever. As long as you went to boot camp, you signed your name on that dotted line, you are a veteran.
I thought there was like a stipulation with that, though. In there,
well, if okay, so let's say you go to boot camp, you break your leg, 3 weeks in, you get medically discharged. You still went through the boot camp. You didn't complete it, but you still went through. Now, let's say you're in the Marine Corps and you got been in for 2 years and you got a dishonorable discharge. Technically, you're still a veteran, because after so many years, you can upgrade that to other than honorable, and you can get your benefits. So.
Okay, I guess I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because and I'm a civilian. I am a very strong veteran advocate and have been for 20 years, and I've had my experience with thousands at this point of veterans. But I know that there's a gray scale there, I guess. And I don't want to be wrong in this, because I am a civilian, but there is a point where some are considered not a veteran. Yes, you serve time or you join the military, but you are not a veteran. See, that's what I thought. I thought you did have to go on active duty. Now, that's not saying that somebody didn't serve or you weren't a part of the military, but I thought there was a true definition for a veteran.
I mean,
well, you know what? I'm gonna call it James Thornton, because every time that 180 days, they would hit 179 days and they would send them home, and they were like, "No, just give us one more day, one more day."
But he's still on active duty.
But now he is a veteran at this point.
Yeah.
But like his early deployments,
yeah,
there was something where it didn't make him a veteran.
So right here, exception is reservist, National Guard under federal activation.
But activation, like
yes.
Okay.
So let's say prime example. My stepdad, he served 20 years in National Guard. Now the only time that he ever got activated was when like the big ice storm came through southern Kentucky. He had to go down there for that. He never served, overseas. Right. He did his, 2 weekends a month, 2 weeks out of the summer. When he passed, he's still rated to go to the VA. Like he got seen at the VA and stuff, but like for us to get a tombstone marker on his gravesite, we submitted the paperwork and they're like, oh, well, he's not considered a veteran.
Right.
because he was never activated for over a year on active duty status as a National Guardsman.
Right.
So,
Or left the states or.
mhm.
I think that needs to change. I'm not big into the legislative end of anything for what we do yet. I know there is a need. So we did go in front of the the committee the other day. It felt
Mhm.
like a firing squad. But now that I know the lay of the land, we'll do much better, right, Phyllis?
Right.
But we did get to introduce Lady Veterans Connect to one of the
Awesome.
committee to the
That's
the
awesome.
Abby's like, nope, you signed that line. You go to boot camp. You're a veteran. Like, she's like, nope.
It does need to, because I had a friend who was in the 2085th, and I saw her at a meeting, and she went around this room 100 times to ask 100 people, why do a 20-year person who served as a reservist in the National Guard or the reserves, why do they get nothing? What is the incentive to go to 20 years? If they get
Right.
nothing, no benefits or anything. So I think there needs to be some really deep thought and looking into that and have that changed
Mm,
to getting those benefits.
I
So
No,
They
I
are
would
working
agree.
on it. They are working on
do
that
have
now.
to agree with that.
What'd you say, Miss Phyllis?
I said they're working on some of that now.
Yeah.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
if there's no incentive, then you're going to keep missing the numbers, and right now they are missing the numbers big time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
No,
won't,
I
that won't get us off on a tirade that makes us
Okay.
all
Okay,
upset.
sorry. Sorry.
No, you're good. We squirrel all the time, and that's
Yeah.
just one of those that it's like,
One of the other things I want to share about the women we've had in our program so far, that in our housing program, transitional housing program, I thought that the women would be probably early 30, maybe up to 50. Our youngest has been 48 and our oldest has been 73.
mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Well, I know two of the homeless lady veterans down at the Salvation Army are both in their 70s.
Right.
Why?
Because they've made a lot of poor choices after they came out of the military.
I mean, there could probably be 100
Sometimes,
reasons. 100
Yeah.
reasons. I mean, if you think about if a person didn't serve the corporate level and put into 401k or a good retirement plan, and then they're relying on Social Security or some job that's not paying $10 an hour, you're
Mhm.
not going to make it. You're going to
Right.
Yeah.
struggle month to month just to
Mhm.
make it. I
Yeah.
mean, because I was lucky enough to serve 32 years in the corporate world and 24 years in the military. So, I mean, I saved away a good penny to retire when I did. And I still have to be very frugal and even
Yeah.
having all that, right? So it is a real thing. And all the prices since COVID and what COVID did to everything, it's outrageous. The
Mhm.
money and the pay is not keeping up with all the increases of what you got to pay just to live in a small little apartment somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Food, gas, and everything else.
Well, that's like the wife and I mean, I have a great job. I get paid. I work for AT&T in Louisville, and then my wife, she's in mortgages, so she's a loan officer's assistant, and we both have great jobs. But we both, with having the paycheck that we both bring in, and paying for our house, paying for insurance, paying for food, and now I'm not saying we're living paycheck to paycheck, but if we're not frugal enough, that money could be gone in an instant.
Yep.
And luckily, my wife was banking for a really long time before she got into mortgages, and she's very frugal when it comes to what we spend money on. Candace can attest to that, because she's the type of person, she will buy for everybody else, but she won't buy for herself. That's the type of person
Or
she
you.
is. Yeah, or me. So
Julie has a really good question here.
yes, my wife has a really good question. She said, "Single moms and veteran, what resources are for them out?" Yeah,
You want me to read it?
Yeah, our.
Single moms and veterans, what resources are out there for those ladies?
Well, she didn't say out.
Well, that's what she meant to say.
That is a question. That's one of the reasons we wanted to build the cottages, joining our place there. So particularly younger women coming out of the military, that they could have their small children with them and reconnect. And we had talked about being able to do that, have them in our home there in Winchester, but family services and others, the way it's designed, did not feel like it was a good environment for the children, because we basically, if you've been in the old schools, you've got a shower. We had the boys' commode area. It's been converted into a shower room. And then the
Okay.
other side, the girls is still the same. But if you've got a little boy, you can't say a little girl can come and live there and not a little boy that's 7 or 8 years old. But if you've got 10 women running around their nightgowns in the same, sharing the same shower room, it's not conducive to having small children there.
So right now you are adult females only,
Yes.
not females and family. Well, I mean, that brings me to another thing. Like, we're talking about the living quarters that you have. But we really haven't like dived into, well, one, we still don't know about this retreat, Addie.
Well, she did tell about the retreat.
Well, not like, I want to know more. I really want to know more. I feel like I'm missing parts of that. Don't tell me the date. Don't tell me that. I just want to know more about like what is really going to be involved in that. What's going to be that draw, and what wants people to come to that? And is it just for the veterans? Is it for the community? I mean, I know you said something about fundraising, but I mean, and outside of that retreat, like other than the living quarters, like what all does Lady Vets do? Because before 2016 and you bought that school, what all do you guys do? I know everybody wants to know, what all do you do?
Well, right now on the second weekend in Saturday in February, we're doing a writing retreat there, and this will be the third one we've done in the past year. We did the Empower Her retreat in December, and we have continued that with weekly Zoom meetings for 8 weeks.
Okay.
And then we'll be coming back and having another Empower Her retreat, and then the ladies will all get connected with a battle buddy to go forward with.
Awesome. So,
And so
I mean, like living up to the name Lady Vet Connect. Like,
right.
You're connecting these women.
Oh, yes. Connection is a big part of it, I believe. They want to
yeah.
connect. I mean, just like you all, if you didn't connect with every person that was on your show, how are you going to provide what everybody's doing out there? I mean, you're connecting all the dots.
Mm-hmm.
So in our world, we're trying to find and connect all these women veterans, whether it's to each other for friendship, camaraderie, or just to get together, or is it to lead them to those benefits and services, whether it's a local level, state level, or federal level.
Mm-hmm.
We are connecting those dots, just kind of like you all are, but on a different level. It's just finding those veterans, which is very difficult because you got to go into all kinds of places to find these women veterans, and especially for those who don't want to say, well, I served or I was in the military.
Right.
So you got to find them, and you do them by a variety of things. Like Phyllis said, she's doing a writing retreat. We're doing these conferences, which are more or less getting all those organizations to tell the women about these services. So those are more educational. But our gala that we do every year is fun. I mean, that's just total fun. This retreat, but a lot of the focus is trying to educate those veterans out there. And when we find them, and just like being on this podcast, you go through this door and boom, I probably wrote 5 things down already to follow up on to connect some more dots, right?
Yeah. And that's so. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's the whole purpose of this podcast is to be a Rolodex for veterans out there, whether female or male. Let's say somebody reaches out to me and says, well, I'm an abused female and I live in Clarksville, Tennessee. Do you know anywhere in Kentucky that I can go to? I can say, yeah, I got somebody. Let me get you connected right now. And I would call Miss Phyllis, and now I can call Miss Addie and say, here, there's Lady Vets Connect. I'm going to connect you with them. And then let you ladies take over, because that's what you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And then if a male veteran calls me and says, well, hey, I'm having trouble with this, well, I can connect them with, and they live in Florida. I could say, all right, well, there's the Hope Project down in the Panhandle with retired chaplain David Trochton. Or if they live in Virginia, I can send them to Elton East at his Wayward Warrior Ranch out there. And so that's the whole purpose of this podcast, is to build that connection so we can help veterans. And one of our mottos on here is one veteran at a time. If I can help one veteran today, that veteran's going to turn around and help 2 tomorrow. So, and it just, it's a domino effect. So
Exactly.
It's that network. It's a network of giving a hand up. And that's
right. And I feel
what
that's
we're
where
supposed to be doing.
I learned quite a bit from Phyllis and how she operates on that level. I
Mm.
mean, from all the politicians to all these other organizations she's connected with and has good relationships with. She has a very good reputation out there. They know she's the real deal. And, who doesn't want to be part of that?
yeah,
And
definitely.
there's a lot of pride to be part of her organization. And just about anybody she meets and connects with who can help the organization, because it's going to help other veterans out there. It's just it's a good feeling to be part of a good organization. And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right, when you can refer, I mean, you might not be thinking you're helping somebody by say, hey, you might want to call this person out at that ranch in Virginia. Well, they do, and sometimes you don't ever hear about it. But then when you do hear about it, like, I connected and it was the most amazing thing. Or
Right.
yes, that really helped me. I mean, that is a feeling you can't get, any other way. Helping
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, Phyllis has a wonderful reputation out there. And you were just talking about being able to help and things like that. So Julie's probably about to lose her mind because Willis is not paying attention to her comments.
No,
but
I was just waiting.
it is something that we all want to know. She wants to know, how can we help fundraise and how can we help? So what are some of the things that Lady Vets Connect? I know that you've talked about a couple different fundraisers that you're doing, but some people that like to donate, whether their time or their money, they love to know, what is that going towards? So what are the things that you fundraise for?
And how
What are
can we
ways that we
fundraise
can
as well?
help fundraise for you? And what are other ways that other people can jump in and help?
We always need volunteers. We're planning what do you want to call that project we're going to do in the spring, Addie? You're in John's brainchild.
Our big cleanup project?
Right.
Yeah. We're going to have a big cleanup project. I almost wanted to call HGTV to see if they come and help redesign the trap school. It's an elementary school. And even though a lot of organizations have come and made it what it is now, which is very nice, I want it to be really nice.
Right.
So I want to have a bunch of different organizations that we've met along the way, and Phyllis knows, and put it out there. Hey, pick a room. Let's have a competition. I'll do this room. I'm going to spruce. I'm going to paint and put new furniture, and I'm going to do different things in this room. Well, it's a whole school. So I don't know if you know how big an elementary school is, but it's a pretty big facility. The cafeteria is huge. The gymnasium is huge, which you forgot to mention the yard sale, Phyllis. Tell them about the yard sale.
Uh-oh.
Well, we have in the past, and I'm not sure that's going to happen as much this year as it has in the past, but we've had yard sales 4 times a year. And we've been able to raise enough money at those yard sales to pay our utilities every year.
Nice.
It's been a big blessing for us. But then we still have to, so many of your grant money for programs, but they don't grant money for, as you said, utilities, insurance, food costs, and things like that. So those are the ongoing things we have to, do. But like I was telling a group today, we kind of backdoored from a lot of nonprofits when they come in, because most nonprofits come in and they rent a property or lease a property. And we have been fortunate that we were able to buy a property. We have a mortgage on it, but we're building equity for the organization. We're just not paying it out in rent. We're building something for the future.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
I love it.
How awesome would that be to have like different VSOs from around like the surrounding area to sponsor a room?
Oh,
like
yeah.
this room is sponsored by the Roll Call Foundation. I'm going to start name dropping here. Like,
Yeah, start name dropping.
Well,
like how cool would that be?
Well,
It is fun.
Here's a room sponsored by Camp Brown Bear and Active Heroes. Come on, you guys, you got to jump in here and you got to help us with this. But
Well-
Julie wants to know, can people donate items for your yard sale and the spring cleanup? You said that the cleanup and what we're I'm gonna start wrangling people in for sponsoring a room. That is gonna be like my new thing. So I'm like I said, I'm if you heard early in the beginning of the podcast, I'm leaving my position at Mission Barbecue this week, but I need something to work on.
Yeah.
And
You got
that is going to be my goal, is to get as many VSOs as I can get to sponsor a room at the trap school.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be?
Oh my gosh.
But so I need dates and information, because I'm going to start pulling people and be like, look, you want to help? And even like the construction companies and stuff.
Right. Well, I'm going to get Phyllis and Miss Addie connected with Miss Dana Spain from Veterans Villages up in Philadelphia, because they want to expand in other areas. And what they do, so Dana Spain is the president of a big, huge construction company. It was a family business, and that's what she does. And if I can get you guys connected with them, and maybe they can help you redesign the school and rebuild it to make it to what your vision for it is. And so yeah, I'll have to definitely get you guys connected with them. And I'm like I said earlier, I love Miss Phyllis. I would do anything for her. All she's got to do is reach out and call me and say, "Hey, can you help me do this?" And I would be there for her in a heartbeat. So
I'm
we're gonna have a
gonna
connection phone call after this.
Well,
what's that, Miss Phyllis?
and we have 8 acres there to develop.
Right. And because me and you talked about that before, of doing some kind of tiny home community for families, because you said once before that, the children were not allowed to come there.
Right.
And the project that we were doing here in Louisville, we were using shipping containers, and
Right.
they were the family unit. You had your big shipping container on the bottom, then it had a camelback on top, so you had a smaller one on top, which made it 2 rooms, so you could be able to put a family of 2 or 3 or 4 in there. So I definitely, veteran homelessness has always been one of my big passions, because there's too many veterans that are living on the streets in Louisville. There's too many veterans living on the streets in any city in Kentucky, because hell, they're all over the place. That's something that we can do as a society to help eliminate is the homeless veterans, the population of homeless veterans that are out there. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get you guys connected with Miss Dana Spain.
That would be awesome. You know how tunnel to towers?
Yes.
Have you met that fella before? Frank?
That's one of our cup programs at Mission.
Okay.
So there's an 8-week period that we sell a cup that all the profits of all 130 stores go to. Like, it's $2 from every cup goes to them. So that's an amazing program that they do.
We need $2 per cup.
I know. There was the first store in Kentucky was supposed to be in Lexington, and something happened with anywho. But yeah, we're definitely going to have a connection phone call after this, the 4 of us. And,
Good deal.
Looks like we got a lot of things that we're going to be working on. I'm super excited about it. But
so I'm going to pay some bills real quick.
Yes.
And the reason I want to pay some bills is because the last commercial that I'm going to be playing is my friend Matt Johnson and his wife Becky. They own a shirt company, sameflagsameoak.com. And what they can do is, if you get in contact with them and design a shirt for Lady Vets Connect, and it's co-branded, and you send everybody to the link that they provide you, at the end of the year, they give you a percentage of all the shirts that were sold.
Awesome.
So I'm definitely going to get them connected with Matt and Becky. He was on here earlier. I don't know if he's still on here or not, but if we can get you guys connected with them and get a co-branded shirt, and at the end of the year, it might be 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, however much, depending on how many shirts get sold and all that good jazz. So, but I'm going to go ahead and pay the bills real quick. So If you're in the music industry, nationally or local, check out talenttalents.com or Louisville Local Entertainment. And then Shirt Company will play that one last.
Owner of Talents here, and I just want to say that we are ecstatic to be a major sponsor of Homefront Sit Rep, a community that is ran by veterans and made for veterans. So thank you for tuning in. Talents was formed in order to create a music scene that was together in the form of a collective, so that no one has to do everything on their own. And guess what? We've been doing this for free for over a year. So please go and check out Talents through Facebook or through our official website at www.talenttalents.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for tuning in to Homefront Sit Rep, a veteran-owned and operated podcast just for you.
My name's Rick Ames. I own Louisville Local Entertainment, a company for music shows, promotions, and bookings in the Louisville music scene. As a veteran, it's my honor to support and sponsor local veteran-owned businesses such as Homefront Sit Rep, made by veterans for veterans. So if you're in the music business and need some help booking or promoting a show for free, look me up, Louisville Local Entertainment. And thanks for tuning in to Homefront Sit Rep.
Gear up in style wearing Got Your Six apparel. Every purchase makes a difference. It's more than just clothing, it's a statement of gratitude. Upgrade without breaking the bank. Discover cost-effective, high-quality clothing made in the USA. Each shirt is handcrafted by our team in the great state of Texas and shipped for free to your front door. Got Your Six is where quality meets purpose. We're a small veteran-owned business that takes pride in the mission and the value of our products. Join us in growing a community, supporting our heroes, veterans, and first responders by wearing a custom design.
I thought you'd never ask.
Visit sameflagsameoath.com and use the code TRIPLETHREAT for 10% off. Follow us on all social media platforms for any upcoming releases or events, and you can reach out to us with questions anytime. We are here to support our brothers and sisters.
All right, we are back. So yeah, like I said, you can go check out talenttalents.com or Louisville Local Entertainment if you're in the music industry. And then if you're a veteran and you're a proud supporter of veteran-owned businesses, go to sameflagsameoath.com and check out what Matt and Becky has up there on site. And then, like I said, when I was telling Phyllis and Abby here, if you get with Matt and connect with him and that he can come up with a shirt, and whether you have an idea of what you want it to say or whatnot, like he can put Lady Vets Connect on one of the sleeves, and then the same flag, same oath on this side, and then whatever you want it to say on the front, like I guess I serve too, or something of that nature. I think that would be a pretty cool idea, and with the connections that Miss Phyllis has and Addie, and then with me, I can say, look at this shirt here for Lady Vets Connect, and so yeah, we could definitely do that.
You're gonna be buying a lot of shirts.
Yeah. Well, I already told Matt that I'd be a brand ambassador for him.
I know you gotta cancel that grunt style.
I don't have grunt style anymore.
No. So he was talking about something before we paid the bills, and it made me have a question for you guys. Like talking about adding tiny homes or whatever it may be. I mean, eventually, is that a goal for you guys to have something to where you can have ladies with their children?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I could have answered that without Miss Phyllis having to say anything, because me and her have talked about it numerous times back. Yeah, I don't remember how many years ago, but that's something that was always her end goal, was to have a facility that could house women and children. Because Phyllis doesn't like turning away females with children.
What if there's a male? What if there's a husband?
They're not allowed.
That is a problem we've talked about, and one of the big issues with having the men there is a lot of the women who come to us have experienced military sexual trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is one of the reasons they are homeless. Is a contributing factor.
Just a question I think that needed to be asked.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So hence the name Lady Vets Connect.
Right.
So like Phyllis said, a lot of the females that are there either had dealt with military sexual trauma, or they got out of the military and got into a very abusive relationship. And a lot of them go there anonymously, where people don't know they actually are there.
Right.
So bringing a male person into that, fold would make the other females that live there uncomfortable.
Oh no, I totally understand that. Totally get it and hear it. I just a question I was curious about too.
So Miss Phyllis, is there anything else that you want to touch on or talk about before we end the show?
Well, I think the one other thing I will say, for example, in addition to what we've talked about tonight, one of the things that we do is we serve any veteran, male or female, that has a need. Like the flood victims in Eastern Kentucky. Now, we've been up there 5 or 6 times taking supplies, food boxes. We were up there at Christmas time and took everybody that we had a list of food boxes. And really, and the ones we served, we got to meet women veterans that have never identified as a veteran. And most of them are older. We had one that we worked with, and she said she went in the military because she didn't want to be like her mom and have a dozen kids.
That's awesome.
So that was one of her incentives.
How many kids does she have?
I don't know. She never did say.
I mean, it could have happened.
So Lady Vets Connect has all kinds of things lined up for female veterans out there. Miss Addie's got her retreat that she's planning. That will be super cool. If you want to come back on later on and just talk about the retreat, when you're going to have the retreat, all you got to do is reach out to me. I think Miss Phyllis has my phone number, and she should have my email as well. I think you have my email now, Miss Addie, but you can get my phone number from Miss Phyllis and reach out to me anytime. Anytime that you guys have something going on with Lady Vets Connect, reach out to me. If you got a commercial that you want to play, like your little video here that you sent me, Miss Phyllis, that I created, I'm going to share it on all the platforms and let people see what's going on, and I'll tag you guys in that later. Because I know at first it was just a slideshow, so you had to hit the button to go through the slide. So I turned it into an MP4. And if you want me to send that to you, Miss Phyllis, I can email it to you. That way you can share it on your platform as well. So
that would be awesome.
I'll do that for you. Miss Addie, do you have anything to say before we let you go?
That is part of the cleanup reason, is we're going to spruce it all up, make it look nice, because one of the board members knows somebody who knows somebody, and they're going to do the whole drone and video and the whole lay of the land of the shelter there in Winchester. So it needs to be looking good by springtime. So that's our time framing in the next few months to start to get that out and get volunteers lined up to help with that. But that's the end goal, is so that we have something a little more professional. So when we do come on shows like this, or we can share that on social media, that they have a good idea of what our GEM project is, or why we are who we are. Okay. And that is the shelter. But there is a lot more to us in what we do provide, because just like all the organizations, the local ones that you all are having on your show, we're the ones who are beating and banging on the doors. We're the ones meeting face to face with the veterans. We're the grounds on the boots on the ground per se, right? And even though those state and federal levels do have things to support for veterans, the red tape. It's just so complicated, and that's why people give up. But we're there to help. We're there to help with all different kinds of things. And again, with that connection and that network that we're growing, and now I feel like we've just, hit Hollywood with you all. Uh, so I think it's just going to keep on growing. I feel like we still are in our little baby steps, but we're going to grow and we're going to continue to grow. And under her leadership and guidance, I know I'm growing and I'm learning quite a bit. So I just want to say too, I appreciate you all having us on your show.
Well, you are very welcome, and so we have a network of veteran podcast hosts. Earlier, there's Rich LaMonica, Triple Threat. They were all on earlier. If I can get you on their show, Miss Phyllis, I'll send them your information and have them reach out to you, because what we do is we share guests. If somebody fits my podcast, they send them to me. If somebody fits their podcast, I send them to them. And then that way, because like Rich is down in Tennessee and at Fort Campbell, Triple Threat Vets is in Texas. So if we can broaden that horizon of your reach to other states, why wouldn't I do that? So I will definitely see. I'm going to send the information to the guys and say, hey, you need to have these two ladies on, because what they're doing for female veterans is simply amazing. So, and not just female veterans, but the female veteran is your main mission. So,
and Addie, don't ever forget, every baby step counts.
Yes, it does.
Even if sometimes they're running around in a circle.
Yes,
every
it does. And
baby step counts.
And just like babies, we get knocked down every now and then, but you know what? We're strong. We keep getting back up, dust it off, and keep on going.
Yeah.
And we are an all volunteer organization as well.
See, now that's a good point, because if you're a veteran service organization and you have paid spots on your board, you're not doing it for the right reason.
Correct.
So I applaud you for being all volunteer based. I mean, that's we talked about that on a few other episodes.
It always makes me love them more.
Yeah, because there are some organizations out there, and I don't want the name brand. Let me just say name brand organizations, because I'm not going to throw anybody underneath the bus. But a lot of their board members are paid position. And then when they get to that point where they're a paid position, they forget about the veteran that they actually are supposed to be helping. So I definitely applaud you guys. So
yeah, it's definitely hard work. Especially when it takes a lot of time, and all these volunteers that help and work for Phyllis, they give it freely. Every now and then I get some at home here, like, where are you going again? More stuff, more military stuff, but
you want to say, worry about yourself.
So my wife was asking earlier about how we can help. If we can help volunteer for the clean, I'll bring my wife and my daughters up there, and we'll come up and help. If you will have us,
I'm gonna get some room sponsors. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some room sponsors.
Yeah, Phyllis has a list already, and I believe, Phyllis, there's some names of sponsorship names on some of those doors, right, already in some of the rooms.
That's right. We're gonna get some more.
Well, the names that's on the doors right now. When we got the place, it had an old coal-fired furnace in it that blew smoke everywhere. So that all the HVAC system had to be replaced, and we were really struggling because that was like $100,000 almost. And one of the local HVAC places came out, and he said, let me do one room and see what it's going to cost. And so each room has, like they have in the hotels, he put in. And they were $6,000 to put one in. And we got the funding then for the rooms within 90 days. And so each person, like one room is donated in memory of their son that died with suicide. And it's those different things. And you talked about the suicide when you did. I don't know if you know about Bruce Simpson here in Lexington, who is an attorney, but he's a veteran. He spoke at our Hope and Healing conference. He attempted suicide just about a year ago. And the story of how he failed is phenomenal. And now he is telling his story, and he shared it publicly first time with us. And we have the whole video of the whole conference with different stories of family members that have lost someone to death by suicide. But he's really telling his story now and making a big impact, particularly among the legal profession, because legal profession, I didn't really realize, has a high risk of suicide as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because what they see, what they do,
who they defend.
Yeah, who they defend and stuff like that. And for me, like if you're a defender and you know the person that you're defending is guilty, that would be hard on me, knowing that I have to defend this person.
Yeah, it'd be real hard to lay my head down at night.
Yeah.
Quick question before I forget it.
Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all have any contacts on how to get a hold of Madison Marsh?
Madison Marsh.
Who?
2024 Miss America?
Oh.
Look, Abby's reaching. She's like, you got connections. What we got?
We must have her at our gala.
In December. No, November. I'm sorry. November.
You know who might?
Heather
French Henry.
Yeah. She hasn't come back. She still was real crazy busy. So
I know. I've been reaching out and I haven't heard nothing back from her.
Yeah, she's crazy busy.
So I see everything that she posts. I'm like, she's just like balls to the wall busy, and I'm just like, she'll eventually get back to me just whenever she's available. So because I definitely want to have her on the podcast and talk about her foundation and what she does for veterans and stuff like that. And then also I want her to bring her dad on because her dad's a Marine.
And he was inducted in the Veterans Hall of Fame last year.
Yeah. And then she was telling me that she's got his uniform from Vietnam that has bullet holes in it, and he was never hit by a bullet. I'm like, dude, that's
her daddy's
uniform. Yeah,
she does. She has it on display at the fair when she does an exhibit. I think.
Yeah. So, well, ladies, it's been my pleasure to have you on here, and it's also my pleasure to end the month of January of Lady Love with Lady Vets Connect, because I love your mission and I love what you do. And Phyllis, your heart is, like I said earlier, this huge.
Commendable.
Very commendable. So thank you ladies for coming on here and hanging out with us for this hour and a half, 2 hours almost. I hope y'all have a great night. And if there's anything that I can do for you, feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Absolutely. And thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And I will talk to you later.
Appreciate it. Yes.
Bye, Miss Abbott. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
We'll be talking soon.
Okay. I look forward to it.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye. How cool was that, Miss Candace?
It's cool. Just give me a new project.
Yeah.
Look, you know how stupid excited I am about that.
I know, right?
I got to figure out how many rooms I need to sponsor.
I'll tell you what, I've known Miss Phyllis for, God, I couldn't even tell you how many years. And like I constantly get emails from her. Of course, I'm with in the VRUC, which she's like the head person of the VRUC. And so I'm seeing all the VRUC, meetings that goes on, the Zoom meetings and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, for somebody who is not a veteran to have the heart that she has, dude, that's amazing. Yeah, it's just amazing. So no, I'm stupid excited that, I was able to end the month of January with, Phyllis and Miss Addie, and get to meet them, and or get to meet Miss Addie for sure. And
I know she was so much fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I have for years. I've heard so much about Phyllis, and as many places I've been, and the people that I've talked to and met, like how we have never actually.
Well, she don't travel to this part of the country very much. She stays up near Lexington, you know.
She stays over in the hills.
Yeah, she stays over there. But no, she's yes. Julie just says Miss Phyllis is phenomenal. I would 100% agree. Miss Phyllis is phenomenal, and what she's done with Lady Vets Connect from when it. Well, I can't say when it first started, but when I first met her and found out about Lady Vets Connect and what they do for female veterans, it's amazing just to watch them grow.
Yeah.
And to have a team that supports you and your mission, like Miss Addie tonight was the first time I met her, and
I love her.
Actually,
I love that Phyllis has her.
Yes,
and that she found Phyllis. Like it looks like that's a great.
And Phyllis has other volunteers that are, and other members of the board that are behind the scenes. And Miss Phyllis, God bless her, she works her tail off to help these female veterans, and she even said male veterans as well. And her, if you're in the construction business and you're watching this, or if you're got a servant's heart and you want to donate some money, Julie posted their website earlier in the chat. Go there, click on the donate button. You can donate, or you can go up there and visit and donate as well. They have some projects coming up that they need volunteers for.
We got some rooms to sponsor.
Yeah, definitely some rooms of sponsors. I'm going to get with, like I said, Dana Spain from Veterans. There already is a home in Kentucky, in Winchester, that helps female veterans, but they're looking to expand, and maybe we can do something on that other 8 acres that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 acres, you can put a couple.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, you could do a whole center.
Oh yeah.
That's just for women and children, but no, everybody I know, get ready. I'm getting ready to send out like a mass email. Like after I talk to Addie and get all the information, what size room, like
for sure.
Just get ready.
So I'm gonna add this back to the stage. I'm gonna do it this way, so it can play as we talk.
Cover that marine face.
Yeah, it does cover my face a
You
little
just
bit.
lean,
Do the lean with it. But no, yeah. So check out Lady Veterans Connect. Go to their website. Look them up on Facebook. They have a Facebook page as well, and follow them and see what they're doing, and how they're helping female veterans. Not just locally, but like she said, she had a female veteran from Georgia and a couple other places as well. So
Tennessee, Virginia.
Yeah, so definitely check them out. So
yeah, I'm excited about seeing what comes of that. I didn't know that they had bought that place in 2016.
Yeah. They bought it way back back
so
when.
What you were looking at on there, I didn't want to say the name of what you had pulled up, but that's what the name of it is.
Which one?
The VV.
The Veterans Villages? Yes.
Yeah. So that the old trap school is called Veterans
Villages.
No. Okay. So don't confuse me.
Yeah, this is the one that's in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. I was like, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was trying.
So did they ever say what the name of this one was?
What?
The facility. Do they have a name of it? The trap school? I don't know. I keep calling it the trap school.
I think it's just Lady Veterans. That's a good question. Let's Google it.
Phyllis. Where'd you go?
Maybe Julie can look that up. I don't know.
Julie, help us. Why didn't you have that for us already?
It just says Lady Veterans Connect. I don't know if they have a name for the facility, though.
What about on the housing application?
Let's see.
Wow, there's lots of things out here that these people need some help with. They're doing great things.
No, it just says in Trapp, Kentucky. So
in Trapp, Kentucky?
Yeah, TRAPP.
So is Trapp within Winchester?
It's right on the outskirts of Winchester. So
okay.
And there are some positions available. House mother, volunteer, board members wanted.
So those that aren't, you're outside of here and Anna's house. Thank you, Julie. It's called Anna's house. So now I want to know who Anna was and why I got named that. But if you're not in Louisville and you're in Lexington and you watch this podcast, you see some of the other VSOs in Louisville. And if you are anywhere in the surrounding area of Lexington, I mean, seriously, check them out, because sometimes when you're a little farther out from the big city, you don't know where to go and you want to help and you want to put your time in. So
I want to shout out my mama. Hi, Mama. How are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to your comment a little sooner.
Like both of our moms were on here today.
I know, that's super cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited that, new month is coming up right around the corner in a few days. Next month on February the 28th is my 1 year mark as a podcast host, doing it for 1 full year. And, I can't say that it's a little bittersweet, because I wouldn't be able to do this without the support of you guys and my wife and children who are upstairs. You guys support me and you keep me going and you keep me doing this. And then, to have people reach out to me and say, hey, I see what you're doing for veteran service organizations. We would love to be on your show. Just like the guy from downtown Los Angeles. I mean, I'm reaching downtown Los Angeles. Mitch from Go From Broke, which is...
You're doing beautiful things, Mr. Willis.
I try.
Yeah, it's just spreading the word and getting that out there to some of these people. I mean, it's turning around tenfold, and it's as simple as putting your face on a camera and just connecting some people.
Now, funny thing, you mentioned Grunt Style earlier today.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
They got good shirts.
Well, here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
So Tim Jensen, Jensen, he is co-owner of Grunt Style.
Oh.
He is coming on the podcast.
Woohoo! I love that.
Got confirmation today. I believe it will be February 26th, maybe. Let's see.
Look, you're getting ready to be like brand ambassador of all kinds of different companies. You're gonna have to quit your job. Julie's gonna kill you.
No. So February 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will have Mr. Tim Jensen, Jensen. He is the co-owner, not co-founder, but co-owner of Grunt Style. And we're going to talk about the Grunt Style Foundation that they have. We'll also talk about the shirts, because as you can see,
you're going to have to pick your favorite shirt. And it's going to be hard for you.
No, I have one. Somebody stole my shirt, my favorite shirt. Julie Marie stole. Julie Marie stole.
You're getting ready to have a lot more shirts, Julie.
Julie Marie stole my favorite Grunt Style shirt.
Barbara, you are extremely lucky to have a son like that. I have to be the first one to thank you for raising a man like Willis, because he's a pretty special person.
I try.
Yeah.
So Julie's upstairs laughing because she knows that she stole my favorite shirt, and the shirt it's F around and find out. That's my favorite one. And
what's the guy's name?
Tim Jensen.
Tim Jensen. He needs a new F around and find out shirt, but he needs it in pink.
Hey, I'd wear it.
He would.
Don't think I wouldn't. I'd wear
it.
And then
too bad.
And then my other favorite Grunt Style shirt is the very first one I ever got. It wasn't the club one like it says here. Julie Marie bought it for me. It says SM.
I love how the middle name's coming out right now.
So it says SM.
It's angry, Julie. Julie Marie.
So it says SFMF. It's red and gold, Marine Corps colors. And I'd say that's my next favorite
That's the one you're going to have to wear, because I bet Julie Marie is going to be wearing the other one that night.
Well, I might wear my Warheads.
See, he's already having problems figuring it out. Yeah. You said you had a favorite. Now you're on T-shirt number 3.
Well, I would probably.
Why don't you just hang them up in front of the flag back here?
I might have them displayed.
No, he's gonna have stacks of them all folded and everything else. Because you have how many?
2 years worth.
Plus some, plus extras.
And then plus some, yeah. So I probably got about 30 plus Grunt Style shirts. So, and because me, I don't wear anything but t-shirts. So
Right.
that's, unless I'm going to, something fancy smancy, then I'll
So I've seen you in a suit.
very rarely.
Yeah, but you worn one.
Yeah. And then even when we go to church, might wear a button up, but I hate button ups because
Special occasions.
Yeah, special occasions. Yeah, I'll dress fancy and I'll shave my beard for my wife, but I try not to shave it if I can. Yeah, fancy.
Well, he's in Bullitt County. Well,
Hey,
that's fancy enough.
my favorite slacks are my favorite blue jeans. She done got me talking like Forrest Gump.
I mean, we could be talking like Sling Blade.
Mm-hmm. I got me some garlic. Mm-hmm. I had to because I know he's still watching.
I don't know if he's still in there or not.
He's lurking in the shadows.
He stopped commenting. Look, Julie. He's still there.
I knew he was lurking in the shadows. Mm-hmm.
What is it? Some call it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade. Do it. Come on, Willis.
No. I know. I love you, brother. I love
you.
I knew he was still here. He's being a scout sniper over there, being stealthy.
Golf gunfighter.
Too
late. Look, you know what you should do? Because your next one's not till Sunday, right?
Yes. I don't have anything till next Sunday.
We should have a surprise impromptu. Look at Julie. Just laugh with us. We should have a surprise impromptu farewell to your favorite veteran advocate on Thursday or Friday.
We might.
We could start the month off.
Yeah, so I do have some really cool episodes coming up this next month.
Yeah, this could just be a fun shoot the shit. We could throw everybody on here.
Yes, we could. So February 4th, I have a Marine Corps veteran.
Your sister-in-law's on here. Sorry.
No, hi, Squirt. So I got Core Spice. So it's CORSPICE, Core Spice. He'll come on, talk about his business and what he does for veterans. And
that's Sunday, right?
That's Sunday. Yep. On February 4th. And then Monday, I'm excited about this one too. Team Rubicon. I reached out to them a while back and it took, Julie says we can't do one on Thursday. And
Friday. Oh, I know. Her triple fit.
Yeah, we can. Triple threats on.
Triple threat,
that one. Yeah, triple threat is on Thursday, so we can't do. And then so on Monday the 5th, we have Team Rubicon. That's going to be a pretty cool one. We got a veteran, Kevin Ryan. He'll be on for Team Rubicon. And then on the 11th, that's Super Bowl Sunday, so we won't have an episode on the 11th. So I do apologize, but that's Sunday the 11th. That's Super Bowl. So yeah, we won't have one that day. And then I do have an availability on Monday the 12th. I'm working on some. I got some meet and greets coming up, and I'll talk about those here in just a minute. February the 18th, I have author, award-winning. Go Taylor's boyfriend. I have award-winning author Terry M. Brown. She'll be on. And then on the 19th, we got Go for Broke. Definitely go if you go to Google, check out Go for Broke, because it's the Go for Broke National Education Center. They focus on Japanese American soldiers during World War II. So we're going to talk about.
Is that the one from California?
Yes, that's one. That's the one from downtown Los Angeles. His dad was in the 442nd.
Mm-hmm.
He was not in the military himself. Professor Mitch. That's what I'm calling Professor. I'm not going to call him Mitch. I'm going to call him Professor. So he'll be on, and I think I'm going to have a special guest host on that one. Mr. Ty Cobb from Triple Threat will be my guest host on that one. Super excited about that one. I mean, that's going to be a really cool one. And then this one here is super cool. This one got locked in today. It's going to be Warriors Next Adventure. That's going to be Sunday, February the 25th. Now,
Who is that? Where did that come from?
what?
Who that? Who is that?
Oh, so I reached out to him.
Oh, I may watch that one.
So I reached out to Warriors Next Adventure a couple days ago. If you go to their website, oh my God, let me tell you, they got all kinds of things. One of the things they do is if you're a veteran and you want to start an LLC, they'll help you start an LLC. If you want to start a 501c3, they'll help you start a 501c3. He's also a podcast host. He talks about mental health and his story where he almost committed suicide. So definitely check out Warriors Next Adventure.
I love that there's so many other, like the people that you have on here have a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think there's enough. Now we don't have enough time. I wish there was more time. I guess that's where you just put your earbuds in, you just listen as you go. But like, I love it.
Yeah, and then to round out February, we will have Tim Jensen from Grunt Style. He's going to come on, and then I'm thinking the tip of the spear Veterans Roundtable will be either the 21st or 28th of February. I don't know yet. I kind of want to do it on the 28th because that's my 1 year mark as a podcast host.
I was just looking at what day the 14th was.
That's in the middle of the week.
Yeah, so you're good.
Yeah, well,
Christmas.
Yeah, that's all in February, Julie. And that's not including. Okay, so
that's not including, Julie. Are you okay with this Friday? We're gonna do a farewell candy.
So my meet and greets are.
I hate saying that. I'm not gonna say that.
So my meet and greets are on Wednesday. So I have one here, Warriors to Racing. I have them on February the 7th.
You want a drink?
No. And I also have on Michelle Black. She is a Gold Star widow. So I'm going to have, she was on Rich's show, Michelle Black was, on the Misfit Nation. I'm going to interview her and talk with her as well. And I'm probably going to have her come on the show. So there's one open date in February that's open right now.
Yeah, he's still trying to get more, Julie.
And then I didn't schedule anything for February 14th because it's Valentine's Day, and that's my lady special day. So I'm not scheduling anything on February 14th, meet and greet wise.
Oh, that's what she was laughing about with the Christmas.
The what?
The 14th is Christmas.
Oh, well, if you know who Ginger Billy is, February 14th is Christmas for.
As much as you say, like, come on.
I know it's Ginger Billy, the comedian.
Throw it on somebody else.
He does. He's the one that said it, and Julie sent it to me. So
yeah, but you like it.
I do like it. It's Wiener Christmas, February 14th. Wiener Christmas.
Apparently, that's what all the guys are calling it now. February 14th is Wiener Christmas.
Well, that's what I'm gonna start calling it.
But what's the requirement? You have to do.
You got
done.
Well, you got to buy her something fancy, some chocolates, and something else. She's up there rolling.
It was chocolate, jewelry. Be careful if you buy jewelry for your wife.
Make sure you don't
duplicate.
Make sure you don't duplicate.
Buy something you already bought her.
Yeah. No, we're not stopping. So yeah, no, dude, I tell you,
Look, Jen always comes on when we're getting ready to end.
I know. And is she on there?
Yeah, Jen, we love you. We need you on sooner.
Yeah.
You got to wake up from your nap sooner.
Jen, we were talking about you a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I know you're watching now. So we had Phyllis Abbott and Miss Addie on, and they.
Sorry.
No, you're good, Jen. We love you anyway. But Candace brought up an ideal. Oh,
X.
You one time have I repeated a gift, Julie Murray, one.
But it
time.
was a piece of jewelry, like identical piece of jewelry, not even like something similar. It was the exact same piece.
It was. God,
you need
I'll
better
never let
jewelers
that-
because they would warn you.
Well, I thought they would when I
Go
told
to
them.
Jared.
You went to Jared.
Julie won't let you go to Jared.
No.
Sorry.
But no, Jennifer, we were talking about Mission Barbecue, and there needs to be a section of female veterans.
Mhm.
And Miss Phyllis and Miss Addie said that they have a bunch of pictures that they take around. And hey, Julie used to sell jewelry as well. I forget the name of the company. I forget the name of the jewelry she sold.
Premier.
Oh, what's Premier?
Oh, I did that too.
Yeah, it was the
when
big,
I lived here in Mount Washington.
big, bulky, gaudy.
Not all of it.
Costume jewelry.
Not all of it.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Look, everybody's jumping on. So Friday night, like we need to make our podcast later.
Who's jumping on now?
Oh, yeah, we got JR coming on.
God, welcome to the show, JR.
I know.
Yeah, but I think there needs to be a section because we were talking about triple 668 or something. I forget. Did you write that down? Talking about
Julie's got you.
yeah, she did.
Yeah, I know there's a few down the hall there, but like there's a whole wall that I kind of cleared out over at the end of the counter that we could fill up with some females. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It definitely needs
but
to
it's
be
going to
a little-
fall on you because I told him to send me pictures, but I'm going to need you to help me out with that because, you know.
So we're going to work on that, getting Mission Barbecue in St. Matthews. If you have never tried Mission Barbecue, wherever you live, if there's a Mission Barbecue, go there and try Mission Barbecue. And if you're in the Louisville area, go to the one on Shelbyville Road in St. Matthews and see my great friend, Miss Jennifer Reeser Gilpin there. Yeah, so there we go. Women of the 688 or 6888. Yeah, that's what it was, 6888. And we need to have them on the wall there.
Yeah.
Because they were the Pony Express. That's that during wartime.
Even if I got like an 8x10 of all of them, but that thing from the KDVA she was talking about was all the different photos. And I've been in the women's section of the VA, walking down the hall, and I've seen the photos that are up along the hallway, and like they're gorgeous photos. I love it how they do it. Yeah.
So
I will show you tomorrow.
I'm glad that Miss Jennifer jumped on. Julie, baby, you should be my producer.
She kind of is.
I know.
You just don't like to listen?
No, I do. I have listened to her all my life.
That's why she didn't watch podcasts for a long time, because you didn't listen.
That's because I reacted poorly to her constructive criticism.
But now when you bring Ty on here or me on here, she likes to watch.
No, she's starting to watch more.
Trim your beard, she'll watch more.
No, it's not going to happen. You're the bestest. No, JR, you're the bestest. So JR's going to come back and he's going to co-host some more episodes with me.
He got your goose.
He did get my goose. I got his cherry last night though.
Who? I don't know who that is, Jen.
No, I didn't, Jen. I sent him a message. I think I sent him a message and told him that I would reach out to him. I didn't get home till little at 6 o'clock tonight, so I hadn't had a chance to reach out to him, but I will. And then earlier, sorry, babe.
What Cards Against Humanity will bring out of people.
Yes, definitely. But no, so earlier I talked with Cassie. She put me in a group message with another veteran, and he used to run Metro EMS and is a realtor veteran, Candy. That's who the Jeremy is that Jennifer sent to me. But anyway, Cassie sent me a veteran, and after talking with him, he right now he's sitting in the hospital. I don't know if he's watching. He said he might watch. And I'm not going to go into but he's fell on hard times. He's got a story that he wants to tell that he thinks will be very impactful to veterans. He's picking himself up, and he's he's adapting and overcoming. He's picking himself up. When he comes on, he can tell his story. I'm not going to tell it, but that will be a very impactful.
Sorry, Jen. I hope your night gets better.
And it could be a little triggering too. So I'm gonna go ahead and forewarning. His story could be a little triggering.
Yeah.
So stand by for that one. I haven't set that one up. That'll probably be in March.
So put like a little predisposition thing on the beginning of the podcast.
Yes.
Be like, hey,
yes.
I
do need to add that or have that added. Like they talked about last night, all the stories need to be heard. I would agree, JR. You are 100% correct. All stories need to be heard.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Just another set of ears.
Yeah. And like we said last night, there's a veteran that was on Tab's Oath We Took podcast, but she doesn't go live. So it's reality. You might be correct, Danny. But like what she was saying on hers is she focuses on Marines that don't really know they have a story to tell, but they do.
Right.
And one of the veterans that was on her podcast said, "Hey, I'm not ready for my story to be out there." So she still has that episode saved, and she's not releasing it. But as long as you tell your story to somebody, that's going to help you tremendously. And we talk about it all the time. The more you talk about it, the more easier your story is going to be to tell. And it definitely lifts a lot of weight off your shoulders. So go out there, ask the hard question. If you go up to a veteran, like if I go up to Danny and I say, "Danny, how you doing?" His immediate response is, "I'm fine."
His second response is going to be, "I'm good. I'm a golf gunfighter."
But that's when you ask the really, really hard question.
I'll leave that one to you.
How are you really doing? Danny, I love you, brother. But yeah, you have to ask that next hard question, because a lot of times veterans are not going to tell you how they're really feeling.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
How are you really doing?
I'm doing great.
Because that was a bullshit fine.
Yeah. No, I'm great.
See, your second response was still.
No, honestly, I have a great life. I have, a great wife, great daughters. I have great friends in my life. And I do deal with, my PTS, and me and Danny have talked about it many times over the last month or so. And talking on this podcast, I've talked about it. This podcast, I got a frog in my throat or something.
No, you have had nothing to drink.
That's diet.
What do you want, that or coffee? Pick one.
Neither.
You've been choking for 30 minutes.
I got a frog.
Julie, tell Lo to bring him some water or something. Goodness.
I got a frog in my throat. No. But anyway, this podcast, this podcast does help me. And interacting with Danny and JR and Julie and Ty and everybody who comments on here.
You always leave me out.
And you when you're on here. I said anybody who
I just drive you crazy every time.
You're fired.
Every single show I got fired on the first show.
I know you did. You did. So
I need to know what kind of stuff I need to get so I can do this from not this chair.
Well, we can. Are you gonna do it up there?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can either do a laptop.
Got that.
With a headset with a microphone, like Al does.
Okay.
Or you can spend $130 on what I got here.
Me too, Julie. You're going too soon.
Do you want
to? Ty wants you to be on live.
I know. I told her, and she said, "I'm down for that."
Yeah.
Me and Matt were talking about that last night. Well, I don't want to give away their treat secret.
Daniel.
But anywho, tonight's been a great show, guys. Hopefully you learned something from Lady Vets Connect, and
She yelled something.
Who?
Julie.
It's that perspective you never expect. I would agree, JR. I would agree.
What is? Help me. What I lose?
Right there. It's that perspective you never expect.
What is?
Other people's perspective.
Perspective is such a crazy thing. And I know you're like trying to wrap this up, but like the more I age day by day, I realize how important perspective is. And not only your own, but realizing how different, and I'm not talking about opinion, I'm talking about perspective and the way that everybody sees. We're going to look at that phone. To me, it's one thing.
That's not a phone.
Right. And to three other people, it's going to be three other things.
Yeah.
And the importance of how am I trying to say this? Help me out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like she's awake now. She's awake now. Are you talking about Candace?
Oh God. Anyway, no, I'm not. The perspective is so important, and realizing that other people's perspective is different than yours, and taking that into consideration. What do you mean I'm awake? I've been awake the whole time, JR.
Yeah, you got on here late, brother.
Real late.
And she talks into the microphone, not way back here.
Because it's right here in my face.
No, I'm talking about JR. Because last night he was sitting way far back and he was not projecting his voice.
He was nervous. It was his first time.
Yeah, we popped his cherry.
Perspective, Julie. Yeah. It's perspective. Just like Wiener Christmas.
Oh.
It's perspective.
Well, you know what? It's time for sheep's nozzle.
What is sheep's nozzle?
I don't know. I just made that word up.
No.
No, there was a guy who played for West Virginia a couple years back, and his last name was some weird Schnoggle. Stop being mean to JR. No, I love JR.
Yeah.
Who's being mean to JR?
Nobody. Did you not hear him the other night? Like, we're good.
I don't know who's. I'm just saying JR we popped his cherry, and he'll be better next time.
Look, Courtney's on now.
Courtney.
Everybody's on late. I'm telling you, Friday night when we do this impromptu, we got to start at like 8:00.
I guess we need to change the time because everybody gets on at the 9:00 hour, the witching hour.
Hi, Courtney.
We were talking about you a little bit ago in Active Heroes.
I know she messaged me the other day and I forgot to message you back. I'm sorry. Things have been crazy, but we do need to do lunch, but we need to do it before this weekend.
Speaking of Miss Courtney and
my God, JR is out of control. Where is his wife? You didn't talk like that on the show yesterday.
I know, right?
Like he was all quiet and.
So Miss Courtney, I don't remember when it was, but I sent you and
Brandy.
I sent you and Mr. Stephen Brown a message in a group. And neither one of you responded.
They're busy. Don't call them out like that. They're busy.
I'm upset.
Doing really, really important things.
Well, here's what it was. I was trying to get them on the Tip of the Spear Veterans Roundtable.
Have you attended one of her yogas?
No.
Well,
they don't
you
have
should
goats.
do that.
They don't have goats.
I bet that could be arranged. Goats. Oh, God. It's just a conversation earlier. So we got to write a book now called like Wallaby Wiener or Goat Gooch.
Yeah. No, I figured Miss Courtney and Stephen were busy. This was, I think, either early January or late December. I reached out because I wanted to get both of them on the Tip of the Spear.
Oh, you just got to do it again.
Well, I mean,
sometimes
we're gonna have multiple. So,
like some of us, like procrastinators, will see a message. Oh, they got a new baby goat. You have no excuse now. You have to go to a yoga. You did it to yourself and it's live.
Nope, I'm not.
So many people saw that. Courtney, you heard him. He said they don't have goats.
They got
you have to go.
They got baby goats and I'll smash them.
No, you won't.
Could you see me doing downward dog?
Yes, with a goat on your back.
Fuck that.
Oh, Julie, go and record it. Please do a live. That's a live podcast there.
On that note, I'm hanging up.
Yep. You gotta wear your yoga pants, bright yellow.
No. Here's what'll happen. I'll be wearing my tight friggin' yellow pants and my butt crack splits. And
Nobody wants to see him in yoga pants, JR. I mean, Julie might, but we don't want to see him in yoga pants. Lo, like, tell us what you think.
No.
But we all need to do goat yoga.
No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Bring it on to Frankfurt. We have 10 babies.
Oh, what are you? Wait, they're not in Shep. You got to bring them to Shep.
No.
He said no because then he has to go.
Leave them in Frankfurt. But no, Courtney, I'm going to be reaching back out to you and Steven. Matter of fact, if we do the tip of the spear on the 21st, on the 28th, on the 28th on my 1 year mark, I want to bring former guests on for the first year.
Yeah, awesome.
And just have just a rundown of my first year of being a podcast host and different guests and let people like Dr. Teresa Larson. I don't know if I shared it earlier.
Well, that'd be an awesome roundtable. And think about like from a year ago, how much some of these places have changed. So like Dr. Teresa Larson, she sent, I shared it earlier, but I'm going to do this one as well. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
My name is Dr. Teresa Larson. I'm a Marine Corps veteran and the founder of Movement RX. I was recently interviewed on the podcast Homefront Syrup with Willis, also a Marine, and Candace. It was an outstanding experience. They asked great questions and really pulled out good information for me about well-being, veterans, leadership. I really appreciate who they are and what they're doing for our veteran community. Take a listen. Anyone out there who is a veteran or has a veteran in their life needs to check out this podcast. Have a good one. So yeah, Dr. Teresa Larson, she is a badass Marine Corps veteran, keynote speaker, you name it. She does it. She brings her friends with her, vicious and delicious all the time. So yeah, definitely man, so I would love to have, if we don't do the tip of the spear on that night, then on the 28th, I'm going to have, it's going to be a special episode, 1 year anniversary. And if you want to join, I'll have the comment posted in the link or the link posted in the comments, and people can just come on and go as they want. I think that'd be super, super, super cool. Yeah. It definitely needs to be celebrated. And yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. And I want to try to get together with Ty and see if I can get a video of a collab of. Is that what Courtney sent you? Yes, look at that guys. Oh, you got some go. See, now you have to go to yoga. No, I'm not going to Frankfurt to do no goat yoga. Look at those babies. Don't show Julie. She'll want them. Oh, I'm sending them to Julie. But no, yeah. So yeah, I definitely will do that. And then Courtney, I want to get you and Steven on one of our veteran roundtables. I think that would be super cool for your perspective. And then Courtney, you also need to check out. There's two organizations that I want you to check out. One is She's the Veteran. It's down in Charleston, South Carolina. It's She's the Veteran, and then She Rose. God, say that 5 times fast. But you've done it well every time. She Rose. They are two organizations that are geared strictly to female veterans. I think that's something that you and Steven could maybe benefit from with your organizations. Maybe have something, collab with them some way, somehow. So definitely check out those two organizations. Mm-hmm. There's lots of people she could talk to. Brandy's finally on here. You need to get your husband. Hi, Brandy. The boss is on, JR. You need to straighten up, brother. But yeah, definitely check out those two organizations. They're doing great things for female veterans. Of course, you already talked with Miss Phyllis Abbott, who we had on earlier, and Miss Addie. Those two ladies were. I love Miss Phyllis. I can't say enough good things about Miss Phyllis. Nice.
I love it, Courtney.
So there's something. So with animals in general, so horses, dogs, baby goats, animals that awesome. I love it. Animals have such healing properties. Just like Courtney says, those goats, those photos were from the women's retreat from last weekend. I mean, just being around goats and other farm animals, whether it be micro pigs or fluffy moo cows. I think that's what they're called, fluffy moo cows.
Fluffy moo cows.
Yeah, fluffy moo cows.
I mean, I like fluffy moo cows.
Yeah, Julie likes them too.
I love fluffy moo cows.
But anywho, I gotta go eat dinner because I cooked dinner before I came down here. Listen here, young lady. But anywho, thank you guys for jumping on, sharing this last 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, Highlanders. Look, there's Michael. So Michael's from
Highlander cows. I want a mini Highlander cow.
Yes, Michael's from Wheeling, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Michael and his wife Susan are amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
Susan is I want to say she's the state captain for the Patriot Guard in Wheeling, West Virginia, and then Michael is a road captain. Michael just recently got a service dog. How is your battle buddy doing, Michael? My eyeball's itching.
You're having all the issues.
I know.
All the issues.
I'm old. That's my problem. Who's watching that?
All kinds of people.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. All right. So Friday night.
I love it, Michael. We will figure it out because that's when are you leaving? Never mind. Don't say that. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll definitely do something before you officially are gone out of the state of Kentucky. So whenever that may be, because my buddy Danny needs to come visit me.
Mm-hmm.
Dance party. Maybe we might do
goats.
Dance party with goats.
Yeah, baby goats.
That would be a real shitty situation.
Dad joke for the win.
Yes, it was a dad joke.
Yeah, close it out with that one.
Anywho.
No, boy.
No,
It's
like
been a
I
good
say,
night.
funny. It was a little funny. Come on. Like I say, always when I end my show, reach out, talk to somebody, a veteran, ask that next hard question.
Mm-hmm.
Look at them, ask them how they're doing. If they say, I'm fine, ask that next hard question. How are you really doing? Because then they might open up. Then again, they might be stubborn like Danny and myself and say, oh, we're great. But no, you have to ask that next hard question. Just ask. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't take any longer. Just ask that next hard question.
No, but don't push too hard.
Yes, don't push too hard. I would agree. And then always help one person today. That person tomorrow might help two people.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And then, like Scott Blake, DJ Royalty says, wake up, show up tomorrow because somebody's expecting you. So always show up. Somebody wants to see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
every tomorrow.
And I'm not going to say what Al says because I don't want to pet no sweaty stuff.
No.
So anyway, like I always say, stay safe out there, and I got your six. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find Homefront Sit Rep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.